what is leprosy? Outside of the fact that many of us may have seen in the Bible or the scriptures where people were outcast who had been affected with a so-called condition or a disease called leprosy, and they were ostracized, if you will, from the normal population of people, and they went into seclusion and or hiding and led solitary type lives as a curse, as some would say. But in modern times, that disease does indeed exist under the name leprosy, but the proper medical name that most people refer to it as is Hansen's disease, which is named after a doctor, I'm sure. And so what Hansen's disease is, and or leprosy disease, is basically a neurological disease that's bacterial in nature, where bacteria infection is the issue, and it causes all types of skin lesions and eruptions, if you will, and all the way to the point where you might have to have amputations because you're having nerve damage as a result. Howbeit, there's less than 200,000 cases of leprosy per year, from what I understand, and about 60% of that is in the country of India, and a lot of that can be associated with maybe the armadillo, which is an animal that carries that disease in its saliva or mucus, and that's basically how you contract it. And it's not, as some might assume or presume, a very infectious type of disease. In America, from what I understand as well, as far as research is concerned, leprosy is probably 200 or less cases per year in America, and out of 330 something million people in America, I think that's pretty good. But anyway, oftentimes it can be associated as far as a poor diet too, such as the case in many parts of India, because of the impoverished nation that it might be on some level. Not all of India is in poverty, but the majority of India is, and nations similar. So leprosy, as it relates to medication, I just wanted to clarify this. And the reason I bring this whole subject of leprosy up is the fact that I put a video out concerning immunizations and what my feelings were concerning that, and I'm against them because immunizations proper in America, for the most part, is primarily an instrument used to make money for the medical industry, and at the expense of the lives and or ill health of its community meaning Americans by and large. So we are affected negatively by immunizations in America for the most part, because we're not a third world country, and most of the ills and or the issues that we have health wise are created by us because of improper diet, fast food restaurants, all of the toxins in the air and the water and in the foods that we ingest, drink and inhale, and so on and so forth. So that's what causes the vast majority of the cancer in America, and even in the world now, is the lack of nutrition and the influx of toxicity in our environment. So getting back on the leprosy part again too, since about maybe 2,000 cases or less in the world of leprosy, and 60% again in India, I am never against medication to fix a problem. I'm against medication and or whether it be steroids, whether it be NSAIDs, whether it be some form of painkillers or what have you, any type of medication that is used routinely as a form of controlling and or masking a condition in the human body that can be controlled by us, the individual, that's what I'm against. I'm against when pharmaceutical companies are selling drugs to us out of normalcy, when there's nothing that's wrong with us that we can't fix ourselves, but because of the almighty dollar and the fact that they're looking for profits and profits only at the expense of our health again, they don't care about our health is what I'm getting at. And so they will sell and push drugs to us because the pharmaceutical companies, the big pharma as it were, are the biggest drug dealers on the planet, all for profit. Say it again, for profit. and they don't care about our health, or whether or not we die as a result of the drug usage. As a matter of fact, and I didn't mean to get on this big soapbox, but as a matter of fact, the third cause of death as of about a year ago was by doctor or medication. Now it's the first reason that we die so much in America is medication prescriptions, and oftentimes those prescriptions are prescribed correctly, but it's the side effects that's killing the people. It's the overdosage of those medications that are killing people. It is the overtaxation to your human organism, especially your liver and your kidneys, and then your other organs subsequently shut down after that. I know I put a lot of this into this small segment, but you can read between the lines. Back on the subject again of leprosy, I have nothing against curing a disease and or condition if that is the case. It is only when you are using pharmaceutical drugs and vaccines for the sole purpose of making money. That has always been my issue, and that's the platform that I stand on and I rest on. No pharmaceutical drugs just for the purpose of profit for the industry. Pharmaceutical drugs again should only be used in a life-threatening situation. That's it. Or to cure a disease, if you want to say that or put it in those terms, or to cure a disease if you can indeed cure a disease that cannot be done naturally. And most pharmaceutical companies and or hospitals and medical institutions, I really want to say all of them, but most of them don't want to heal anything. They want to manage it so that they can always have income from your insurance company. That's it. So what do you think about leprosy? And I hope that you understand what I was trying to get across. But this one individual told me, if you're against immunizations, if you will, or vaccines, what about leprosy in third world countries? This is my response. Third world countries again, a lot of them may not have access to some of the modern medicine, if you will. But again, modern medicine should only be to use in an emergency situation and not to maintain you for the rest of your natural life. That's it, and that's all. I'm out. So long.